Buongiorno ragazzi, welcome to a new quick Italian 101 video. Today we're going to do the very last of our regular verb groups, I verbi in ire or ire verbs, okay? It is the smallest of regular verb groups, but it is very useful. Some examples are dormire, one of my favorite verbs. It means to sleep. Partire, which means to leave. Servire, which means to serve. So, how do we conjugate this? I am going to go very quickly through this because you already know the drill. Let's take the infinitive of dormire, to sleep. First step, of course, is to get rid of the last three letters of the infinitive, the IRE, in order to obtain the stem of the verb, which in this case is dorm, right? And then we need to add some endings. These are the ire endings. O for io, I for tu, e for lui and lei, iamo for noi, ite for voi, and ono for loro. Therefore, the conjugation of dormire, once we put together the stem and the correct endings, goes like this. Io dormo, I sleep. Tu dormi, you sleep. Lui dorme, he sleeps. Lei dorme, she sleeps. Noi dormiamo, we sleep. Voi dormite, you guys sleep. Loro dormono, they sleep. Right? Now, we have completed with this the set of three groups of regular verbs in Italian, right? And we have seen that the only thing that changes between one group and the next is the endings. So I want us to do a full comparison of the three sets of endings of regular Italian verbs. Let us start with the endings for the are verbs. O, I, a, iamo, ate, ano. These you absolutely need to memorize in full. Now let's compare them to the ere endings. This we did in the previous video as well, right? So we mentioned that three of them are the same and three of them are different. So the best strategy is to memorize those that are different. The lui lei ending is e instead of a for ere verbs. The voi ending is ete instead of ate. And the loro ending is ono instead of ano. Now, let us add the third group that we just studied, ire verbs. If we look carefully, we see that between the ere and the ire endings, there is only one change. The voi ending. It's ete for ere verbs and ite for ire verbs. So basically, if you already know the ere endings, you can easily conjugate ire verbs as long as you remember that there is that small change for the voi ending. Instead of ete, it is ite. Okay? So it's quite simple. So a couple examples of conjugated ire verbs that are not dormire. Offrire, to offer. Io offro, tu offri, lui offre, noi offriamo, voi offrite, loro offrono, right? I got rid of the last three letters and added the ire endings. Notice that it's offrite, not offrete, right? Same thing for aprire, to open. Io apro, tu apri, lui apre, noi apriamo, voi aprite, loro aprono. So these are the ire verbs. The only change comparing them to the ere verbs is that voi ending, which uses an I instead of an E. Now, finally, for a very, very short list of regular ire verbs. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, it is the smallest group of regular Italian verbs, but nonetheless, it includes some very important ones. Let's look at a handful of them. Aprire means to open. Dormire means to sleep. Offrire means to offer. Partire means to leave or to depart. Scoprire means to discover. Seguire means to follow. Notice that I am pronouncing that U, right? Seguire. And lastly, servire means to serve. There is still one small subset of ire verbs that use the same endings but have a tiny difference. We will study those later. Grazie ragazzi. A dopo.